Okay, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mangg. Welcome back to Dominion 6. We've got the Total War 3 soundtrack. Not as any guarantee we're going to be playing a Warhammer Nation here. But it's kind of got some higher production values, and we've listened to a lot of the Dominion music. So, last time we did L.A. Oceania, a modded nation depicting what Oceania might be if it had made it into the late era. And it was pretty fun. Wasn't too overpowered or anything, and we got a relatively quick win out of it. We're gonna move on to another nation. Eventually, we might get through all of them, and then we get to go on to the completely randomly generated nations. And then it never ends. But alright, let's roll random number between 1 and 241. 49. That is in the vanilla category. That is Machaka, Reign of Sorcerers. Okay, M.A. Machaka. Let's do it. I don't think we have to adjust anything. The only thing I might do, just to make sure, toggle that a few times just to be sure it loads. And, you know, just to be certain. Okay. For a map, let's do, let's do Halloween. No, you know what? Let's do Lost Capital. So this is that special sort of 2v2 map kind of thing. We're not going to do 2v2. I'm not going to do any disciple game here. We're just going to do 1v1 v1 v1. This is like 68, I think. Probably. Okay. MA. Down to 4. Difficult AI. And we'll make sure they're all land. We are playing Machaka, Reign of Sorcerers. Alright. So, we did EA Machaka, of course. We did a game of that. So it was kind of lengthy. And that was all about the Lion Kings. Now we see that they have heavy infantry, so they have evolved in that into heavy infantry, along with light infantry and spider riders, as well as assassins. We always love assassins. Magic, fire, earth, death, nature, and glamour. That's a nice mix. Average priests, heat limit +1. Seems pretty simple. We got Machaka Scout, pretty standard stuff. Machaka Chief, 75 leadership. Machaka Commander, 100 leadership. Gold star there. Very good, very good. Spider Lord, also 100 leadership, but obviously riding a spider, so higher map move and stuff. If you want to do a more mobile, but not that much higher. 14 compared to 16. So, you know. Pretty good stats, though. Eye of the Lord. Level 1 priest. With a patrol bonus of 15. It's not bad. And tax collector. Voice of the Lord. Level 2 priest. And 100 leadership. So if we're going to be using sacreds, this is probably going to be our commander of choice. Just for the niceties of big blesses. But we'll see. Ear of the Lord. Level 1 glamour, level 1 priest, and stealthy spy. Interesting. We don't usually have much use for spies in single player. But it does allow you to get a very accurate read on independent armies or, you know, enemy armies. Witch Doctor, which can also be recruited in all forests. As long as they have a lab, of course. Level 1 fire, level 1 death, level 1 nature. It's one of those mages that's just like, yeah, you know, he's got a diverse spread there. Although I don't know how many cross paths there are between all these things. I mean, fire and nature doesn't have that many cross paths. Oh, there is like the 7-year fever or whatever, isn't that it? But he's inept researcher 4, so he doesn't really get much benefit out of these having multiple levels like that. Yeah, well, you know, but the thing is, you can just throw a lab into any forest and just start cranking these guys out. And especially if you have magic scales and can get these to 8 or 9 research, I mean, that's pretty cheap. Sorcerer. Okay, this is a more usable mage. 300 gold is not super cheap, but you get level 1 fire, 1 death, 2 nature, 1 glamour, 17 research ability, and another fire, earth, death, nature, glamour. So you could have 2 fires, 2 deaths, 3 natures, 2 glamours, or a little earth in there. That is a very usable mage as far as I'm concerned. So this is what we're going to be focusing on the most, outside of just maybe having some labs and some forests. Voice of the Hunters, cap only. Level 1 priest, 100 leadership. So it is a sacred thing that can buff itself, bless itself. So you might be able to do something similar to like with Ulm, where you might send a black lord around with some black knights. You might be able to just send a Voice of the Hunter around with presumably some other, the Black Hunter units, which are also sacred. So they can just bless themselves and then shred small armies, depending on your bless. Stats are pretty solid. I mean, the rider has 14 hit points, 17 protection, 17 defense, 13 MR, 15 morale, 22 speed. He gets a lance, 17 piercing, with a charge bonus, of course, one-time use, and then the falchion, 19 slashing. And he also has a great hide shield for 6 parry and 11 protection. It does make him a little vulnerable in his head still. Against, like, crossbows, perhaps, but yeah. And then the spider is unarmored, but has 16 natural protection, which is pretty nice. So, yeah. And then it has a web up stuff, and venomous fangs, 14 attack, 14 piercing with a 35 death poison. So a pack of these things will be pretty dangerous with a good bless. Not bad. Bane Spider, cap only assassins, also with level 1 glamour. Now, I mean, they're pretty good, relatively cheap outside of resources. 19 protection, 10 defense, 13 MR, 14 morale. They're a little slow on the combat speed. They have Assassin 2, which is not phenomenal, but it's alright. Ambidextrous 2, they got a Bane Blade and Bane Dagger. Pretty good attack values, pretty good damage values, and it's magical, and it causes decay. You know, usually you want to end a target before that would really matter, but it's there. So, level 1 Glamour. What does that actually get you for an assassin? Well, you can cast Personal Luck, which is pretty nice for an assassin. You'd often maybe throw in a little miscellaneous item or something like that on him to give him luck. So he could cast that. Gives him a 75% chance of escaping an otherwise deadly blow or spell. And I think I always get that confused. I think I always get that confused with Twist Fate. Because Twist Fate is an astral thing that will negate the first successful strike against a unit, right? And so once it's used up, once it happens... This is a little loud, I think, actually. Hold on. skip that. Once that happens and it's used up, then it's gone. Whereas luck is basically like super ethereal. It's a 75% protection from anything, not just mundane damage, like anything that would actually kill you. So a sword, a magic spear, or, you know, I'm pretty sure even like Soul Slay or something like that. Anything that would kill you has a 75% chance of just being negated entirely due to luck. So luck, I think, is actually really powerful. Especially on an assassin who is very likely to often die in 1 or 2 hits. It gives him potentially a lot of immunity to have a bit more staying power. This was that thing I was 7-year fever, but it just diseases a target. It's really only good for like anti-thugging. It's not much use in combat. So yeah, being able to cast luck, personal luck, is pretty good. But it doesn't give him... he would need like a temporary glamour gem in order to cast... what would he want to cast? Well, he could cast Blurred Body to give blur. He could also cast Mirror Image to give him a little bit more survivability. If he had fire, he could cast Shroud of Splendor, but he doesn't. If he had 2 glamour, or he had a gem, he could then cast Shroud of Bewilderment, which is pretty good. But luck is not bad, especially considering they don't need anything to cast that. Like, you just make an assassin, script him for that, and send him out, and they'll do much better than an assassin without it. Especially with these nice magical weapons, good attack value. This seems like a pretty solid assassin. I know I said that last time about LA Oceania we had, but this seems maybe pretty viable. Spider Sorceress, cap only. 1 fire, 1 earth, 1 death, 1 glamour, and then 1 fire, earth, or death. So with these guys, we'll always have 1 glamour only, but we could get 2 fire, 2 earth, or 2 death. They are unfortunately old, slightly. They have Dominion Monster Summoner. I assume it's something to do with spiders. And when they're seriously wounded, they'll turn into great spiders. Very skilled sorceresses may be able to cast spells even in spider form. I don't know what that exactly means, to be very skilled. Let me just bring up MA Machaka real quick. National Spider Sorceress. So Wounded Shape. Okay, so she attracts automatically great spiders, which are undisciplined animals. 26 hit points, 14 protection, 9 defense with webs. It's honestly not bad. So yeah, and then Wounded, she turns into a great spider with basically the same stats and everything. And while in that form, she has -1 to all her paths. Meaning that she'll still have, you know, whatever she has 2 in, she'll have 1 in then. So she has a little bit of spellcasting as a spider, but not much. But still, it's a lot extra health. It's kind of nice. The Anansi, cap only. Death 1, Nature 1, Glamour 2. And another Death, Nature, Glamour, so you can get Glamour 3. 10% for another selection. So we could get, yeah, Death 2, Nature 2, Glamour 3. Pretty usable, but downsides. They are a heretic. And they cause unrest. And they take 4 recruitment points. So I'm not super likely to make many of these. They are stealthy heretics, which means you can just easily send them into enemy territory, just lurking about and lowering their dominion. But we usually play pretty quick games where that's not a factor. And then Black Sorcerer, cap only. Also 4 recruitment points. But 2 fire, 2 earth, 1 death, 1 glamour, another fire, earth, death, 10% for another shit. So these guys could have 3 fire, 3 earth, 2 death. A very strong mix. They have Bane Blades. Possible thug candidate here. But you'd have to throw quite a bit of gear on them, I think. I mean, You'd have, like, personal luck. You'd have temper flesh. You'd have personal stone skin. You'd have fire shield. And then depending on what else, you get into, you might have more than that. I think they probably, with some research, they could probably handle light thugging pretty easily without any equipment. But anything beyond that, you'd probably have to really deck them out, and it's probably not worth it. But they have a good range of spells at the very least. Yeah. Okay. Units. We have Pygmies. Range 35 short bows. 10 attack. 8 damage. Yeah, I mean, we haven't really done a Pygmy strat. We've done masked archers, like with Smoowitch and stuff. But Pygmies potentially benefit a lot from, like, Strength of Giants. Because that will bump them up to, what, 10 piercing damage on their short bows? Or, obviously, Flaming Arrows, because we do get some fire magic mixed in here. Hard to say. I mean, they're so cheap, And they have very low hit points. So they don't actually contribute that much to, like, your army HP pool. 100 of these guys is 400 hit points. Whereas 100 normal soldiers is 1,000 hit points. So for the army routing rule of if you lose 50% of your pool, everything routes. These don't really contribute much to that, even if, 20, 30, 40 of them die from just, like, falling fires or something. And with a buff, like Flaming Arrows or something like that, or Envenom Arrows, probably more Flaming Arrows, they can really just decimate an enemy army. Because you can just fire so many of them, and they're size 2. So you can really just pack so many of them in. But I would say it's probably not worth it without actually going the full 9 yards and getting Hail of Burning Embers. And that's probably easier said than done with our spread of spells. We kind of have low paths on a lot of guys. So 4 fire, 2 fire gems is going to be tricky. Even Flaming Arrows, which is 3 fire and 1 gem, is going to be kind of tricky for my guys. Some of these guys will be 2 fire. Some of the Spider Sorceresses will be 2 fire. But we don't really... I guess there will be some Black Sorcerers that are 3 fire. But how many of these am I really going to make in the long run? And am I going to want them to be spending their time casting Flaming Arrows on 20 squares of Pygmies? So we may consider it if we take a Pretender with high fire. That might be a somewhat valid option. I don't know. It's something to think about. Machaka Militia. Very cheap, completely unarmored. They just are given a spear and go. They're not even wearing furs. So, very chaffed. And these guys, unlike the Pygmies, have 10 HP. So they will contribute a lot more to your HP pool. Yeah, not something I do. The Machaka Archer. Now, compared to the Pygmies, they cost more. They have more hit points. But they're also 0 protection, no armor whatsoever, and they get a few extra damage. No extra range, no extra attack, just a few points of damage. And that's the thing with flaming arrows specifically, in that they don't have to actually do damage with the arrow to get the extra fire damage. That's a separate damage roll. That's armor piercing. And so that's why pygmies can be really effective in mass with flaming arrows. Whereas for something like this, like, yeah, maybe you'd want more like envenom arrows, because you're likely to do like a little bit of damage, like 1 or 2 points of damage maybe on average, but then the poison will really add up. I mean, flaming arrow is obviously still good on any archer, but poison not so good on the little pygmies that are not likely to actually do any damage with their arrows. But the fire is just the nice extra. So yeah, I would lean, if I was going to go for an archer, I guess I'd lean towards pygmies and flaming arrows. But the thing is, these guys are more useful without any buffs. But that being said, no protection whatsoever, no shields, no armor, and 10 hit points. I mean, they're going to die in droves, and it's probably going to lead to a rout. So I probably would rather have no archers than those. But that's just me. Machaka Warrior. Well, they do get a shield. Parry 3, hide shield for 11 protection. They get javelins. Get spears. So basically what this means is they have no protection of any kind unless the attack hits their shield, which means that the attack roll ends up being essentially between like 10 and 13. Because that's the parry value with their defense. So it's a very narrow window where it either misses entirely or it just hits them on their 0 protection. But the thing is, like, most attacks you're going to go up against are going to be like 10, 11 attack skill. And due to the bell curve of the dice roll, most attacks are actually going to hit the shield. And then, in which case, they basically have 11 protection. So if you just looked at this unit and just saw no shield, 11 protection, 13 defense. Well, I mean, that's not really a fair argument, because the shield does help a lot against archer fire. But, yeah, it's still just kind of like, okay, it's fine, it's average. I'm not really that interested. Machaka Warrior with a just big spear. I like that it still says light infantry are armed with spear and javelin, even though they do not have a javelin. They have a long spear. It's length 4. They still get the shield. They're depending on repelling, but with a 9 attack value, that's not going to happen too often. So, no. Spider Archer, cap and all forests. So these guys are similar to the other archers, but basically they already get Envenom Arrow on them by default. Which makes them already quite a bit better than the regular archer, but still no protection. Actually, I don't think it's quite as good as Envenom Arrow. It's 5 armor negating poison, and Envenom Arrow is, oh, it is 5 armor. Okay, yeah, so it is basically right. But still no protection, 10 hit points. Still not a strong argument to be made to take them. Yeah. Machaka Hoplite. Here we go now. This is something we can work with. 11 hit points, 17 protection, 10 MR, 11 morale. So aside from the protection, they're pretty standard. 13 defense, 8 speed. They do have formation fighter though, so they'll be 4 to a square. Length 4 spears means they repel even other spears. 10 attack, 15 piercing damage. They have plate and iron hats, as well as a parry 6 hide shield. Yeah, this is a much, much more usable soldier. Not amazing, not game-breaking or anything like that, but pretty usable. Spider Warrior, cap only. 19 protection, only 7 defense, still only 10 MR, so that is a weakness here. And they're not super fast with speed 9 because they're wearing spider armor and a full helmet. And that's why their defense is so low. They have no shields. But they do get dark vision. They're stealthy. They have ambidextrous 1, which is all they really need, I guess, to cancel the penalties here. 12 attack falchion, 19 slashing damage, and a 13 attack dagger, 13 piercing. So, you know, meant to be a bit of a flanker. You can use them with a stealth army to do stealth raiding. 19 protection is quite high. But they're kind of expensive. It's hard to say. Hard to say. Because we haven't gotten to the spiders yet. The spider rider. So the rider has 10 hit points, 0 protection, 13 defense. He gets a spear and a short bow. They have a speed of 14, which isn't super fast. And then the great spider, 26 hit points, 14 protection. No armor. 5 MR is very low. Got a web spit. Different webs, a ranged web and a melee web, and then venomous fangs. Only 9 attack, and that does have to do damage in order to apply the death poison. So that's pretty low. Not a spectacular unit, I would say. Spider Knight, however. Here we go. The hoplite basically riding a big spider. So the rider has 17 protection, 17 defense. Still only 14 speed, so they're not the fastest cavalry you'll ever find. Not even close. 13 damage spears. They do get the hide shields, great hide shields. And the spider is pretty similar. But again, usually hits are going to hit the knight instead of the spider. Even though the spider is size 7 compared to like a normal horse being a 5. So I don't know. I don't know how that exactly... So if the mount's size is 2 greater than the attacker's reach, only the mount can be hit. Otherwise, the chance of hitting the mount is 30% plus 10% times the mount's size minus 10% times the attacker's reach. If the mount is humongous to their rider, there's an extra chance for the mount to be hit instead of the rider. 25% of the size gap is 3. 50% of size gap is 4. 75% if the size gap is 5 or greater. Which means that, like, an elephant is far, far, far more likely to be hit than the riders. Which is something to keep in mind. In this case, it is a wider gap. So this is a gap size of 4. So that's a 50% extra chance for the spider to be hit, rather than the rider. And, due to the size 7, I'm pretty sure, like, the spider is only going to be the one hitting in melee, getting hit in melee. Whereas for arrows, I think it's going to be like, it's a percentage chance thing. So the spider is like more than twice as likely to be hit by an arrow than the rider. So in this case, compared to normal cavalry, actually, we don't want or really benefit that much from the knight being so heavily armored compared to the spider. As far as I understand the math. Whereas for a normal horse and cavalry, there is no size gap bonus to hit the mount, the horse. And If the mount size is too greater than the attacker's reach, only the mount can be hit. That suggests, because a horse is size 5. So even with a speed, that doesn't sound right. Okay, so under the mounted unit section, it says, when a foe performs a melee attack or a missile attack on a mounted unit, they prefer to aim for the rider. However, the size of the mount, especially in comparison to the rider, and the reach of the attack will mess with this. So a roll is taken to see if the rider can hide against their mount. If the mount is 3 size points larger than the rider, there's a 25% chance that the mount will be targeted. A 4-point difference makes the chance 50%. Yeah, we already went over this. Size gaps of 2 or lower don't allow for successful hiding, resulting in this roll being skipped. So for normal cavalry, human on a horse, that roll is entirely skipped, as we said. Whereas for our spiders, it's a 50% chance that the first roll that happens to determine the target, it will just go to the mount. If that roll fails, or is skipped, then it depends on whether it's a melee attack or a missile attack. For a melee combat, there's another chance to end up targeting the mount instead of the rider. The minimum chance is 10%. This is attained by having a reach that's 2 points greater than the size of the mount. Difference of 1 makes it 20%. Lack of a difference makes it 30%. Having a reach 1 point less makes it 40%. If the reach is 2 points less than the size of the mount or lower, the mount will always be targeted. See, again, that suggests that in melee, a guy with a spear targeting a mounted cavalry will always target the horse. And that has not been our experience, right? So I'm not quite certain about that, but I feel like that's taken directly from the manual, so I'm not really sure how to interpret this. And then for missile combat, rider and mount have an equal chance of being targeted, at least at this stage, and then it depends on your size points during that process. So yeah, I'm not really sure how to interpret that, but I think in this case, our spider is much more likely to be targeted, and that's not super good news, because the spider has no armor of any kind, and only has 14 protection, 9 defense, so that hit point is going to be whittled down, I think, relatively quickly. So, even though on a normal cavalry, I'd be pretty excited about these defensive numbers, in this case, since the spider's so big, it kind of nullifies it a bit, and actually perhaps makes the spider rider a much more appealing option. Not super appealing, mind you, because it's not like the spider's guaranteed to be hit, especially from arrow fire and stuff. So at least the Spider Knight is well protected from arrow fire. But yeah, it's hard to justify the cost. I'm not sure. And then the Black Hunter, cap only Black Widow Spider Cavalry. So the rider has 13 hit points, 20 protection, 17 defense, 11 MR, 14 morale, 22 combat speed, so that got a huge increase. They're sacred. Gets a lance and the falchion, great hide shield. Quite expensive though, 100 gold, 37 resources, 56 recruitment points. The spider itself, still unarmored, 16 protection, 55 hit points, and now size 9, which means they're even far, far, far more likely to be hit compared to the rider. Which ultimately means you're paying a lot of resources for something you don't benefit from most of the time. But it does mean that the bless you can focus more to just assist the spider, such as like with regen or something like that. Compared to worrying about a defensive bless for the rider. Yeah, they get their venomous fangs and the web attack in melee, so they have no ranged web, but still pretty nasty stuff. For summons, we get elephants, great lions, as usual, and hunter spiders. So we can actually summon the spiders by themselves without the mount. They're magical, they're not stupid or anything, and they are sacred. They still have 55 hit points, 16 protection. Pretty nasty stuff. I don't know how many you're going to get or anything, but honestly, I might prefer to just summon these things as like sacred cavalry without a rider, rather than, because they're not undisciplined. And like the great lions might be, so they actually can be sent straight to the rear. So yeah, let's take a look at Conjuration real quick. God Brood. There you go. So 2 nature, 1 death. 12 gems gets you 6 of them. No plus. It's always going to be 6. So, but if we can get a lot of nature gems going, Mother Oak going and stuff like that, that is a strong, relatively strong extra sacred option for us. Okay, well, my initial thoughts then are probably going to be using a lot of hoplites. And maybe some spider warriors on a flank. Definitely gonna... I don't want to say definitely, but probably we're gonna try the pygmy flaming arrow strat. And I'm just not sure about the black hunters. I suppose we'll pick a bless that works for the spider no matter what. We're gonna pick something for the spider. And then if we make some black hunters, you know, we've got a lot of cash lying around and stuff like that, great. If not, we got to rely on other stuff. We're going to be relying on magic and things like that. It's the reign of sorcerers, of course, so we're going to be using sorceress magic. Yeah, so we could get some 3 nature guys, which is kind of appealing. Okay, let's look at M.A. Machaka on this guide here, just to see. You adore spiders? You have masochistic tendencies? Then M.A. Machaka is the nation for you. It's E.A. Machaka, but worse. Even their decent units have a lot of drawbacks, like crawling assassins, the best mage being old, and a cap sacred with a garbage second form that would get destroyed by MR targeting spells. While M.A. Machaka has a decent early and early mid-game, it falls off sharply once other nations reach their research targets, such as Mist, Rain, Storm, Aerofend, Foul Vapors. Unlike others, I like the Black Hunters for early and early mid-game, as they are quite durable and pack quite a punch. However, make sure not to over-invest in them, as they will get destroyed by mid-game magic. So he recommends going straight into Black Hunters and using just like 3 of them led by a Machakan commander and an Eye of the Lord to expand. Another option is to use 40 to 60 Machakan warriors with javelins against low protection targets, though you'll need a large numerical advantage over Indies for acceptable casualties. Get a sorcerer and black sorcerer to sight search, as gems are crucial. Go for Conjuration 3, and then head for Enchantment 5 for Strength of Giants, Flaming Arrows, and Horde of Skeletons. When you reach Conjuration 3 and Enchantment 5, you can use hundreds of pygmies with Fire Arrows and Strength of Giants, a front line of Machakan Hoplites and Skelly Spam to destroy enemy armies, while raiding with mages and troops to squash your opponents. Once enemies have sufficient arrow counters, you'll need to ditch the pygmies and switch to summons plus skeleton plus fatigue strategies, which white mage black sorcerers excel in. White mage black sorcerers. Is that something that I had? Oh Black sorcerer. What the fuck is a white mage? Anyways. Right, so I think, well, yeah. So he recommends going just using black hunters. And his bless, let's see here. So rainbow bless, he's got attack skill or fire resistance, shock resistance or swiftness, defense skill or cold resistance, strength, 3 magic resistance, 3 undying, low light vision, 10 poison resistance, and blood surge. Jesus. His scales option just gives you morale, 10 fire resistance, 2 magic resistance, magic weapons, and 4 undying. His super combatant for like shorter games just takes awe, fire, and shock resistance. Okay. Again, it's hard to say how much we're going to be relying on sacreds, so I think we're going to go scales, because the hoplites have 27 resource costs, 18 recruitment points. They're not super cheap, and we're going to want a lot of them. So we're probably leaning scales as usual. I feel like we always take like an immobile pretender, though. I'd like to not. He gets that colossal fetish at a discount, which can be quite the thug or super combatant in the long run. It's 23 protection, 15 of which is natural. I mean, you throw some extra nice armor on him and stuff, and oh boy. And then he's got built-in blunt pierce resistance, but he also has earth. He's an innate spellcaster. You could do some nasty stuff. Yeah, fuck it. And he'll come out late and he'll dominate. That rhyme. We want at least 5 nature for sure. In order to get Mother Oak eventually. We might just want Earth Nature, but I think we need a bit more than that. As for what's really beneficial for like just our main, just assuming we summon spiders, we're gonna have a lot of summoned sacred spiders. Where do they lack? Well, to be honest, their damage is not spectacular. The death poison is pretty good if they hit, so they might actually just benefit from more strength in order to make sure the hit goes through to apply the poison. They have decent protection value. I don't think I want to spend what's necessary to increase that. So, yeah, maybe just taking Blood Surge and Enchanted Blood. Although Enchanted Blood on 55 hit points is really limited. Like, we'd have to go for Undying as well. And that's a lot of extra paths, so I'm not sure about that. Because let's... You know, we want, like... I think, you know, growth is mostly good if you're doing, like, a bit longer games, right? Because growth is not an instant thing. Like, it does add 1% income, sure, but it's this growth thing that's going to increase population turn after turn after turn. And so, with one growth, you know, after an extra 5 turns of owning a province... You'll have an extra 1% of the population. Which, if you have a place that has 10,000, it gets an extra 1% over 5 turns. That's... what, 100? 100 extra population? Now, granted, you know, when you get higher population numbers, it adds... more and more, you know, and it's exponential, and you have more and more provinces, and they're all benefiting from this as long as it's in your dominion. And sure, yeah, I mean, in a 80, 90, 100 turn game, it's gonna pay off dividends, but we don't really do that often. We're kind of quick. So you know, I could even take death scales really, and it wouldn't be the end of the world. If we wanted to take Yeah, if we wanted to take, like, some death. And we could take a magic scale. And then for 16, we can take Blood Surge. We can take... Oh, we could also take Larger, which would always be in effect. I wouldn't even have to do it. They're already size 9, so it's the last possible thing that can benefit from Larger to make them size 10. And they'd get 30% more health. And an extra strength. I think Larger might be the option here. Okay, we'll take Larger. Does cost quite a few points. 7 points for that. I would have liked Fire Resistance, but it's fine. It's fine. So then, I guess I could just get Enchanted Blood and Undying. Maybe take a Misfortune. But I'm not going to be able to get... I'm going to get like 1 extra Undying here. Because I don't think that's... Like if we go, say, something like... Oh, I have to have 4. But then say we go into Glamour. I mean, that's not going to get us more Bless points, unfortunately. Yeah, just due to the way that it works with the costs. So, yeah. So, like, 1 Misfortune for 1 extra Undying. It's not really going to do much for them to have 4 extra health when they already are going to have, like 70-ish, you know? So, instead of Undying, I guess I could take a 2-pointer. Such as Poison Resistance. Or just an extra strength on top of it. Or Reinvigoration, but I don't think they have high encumbrance. So, yeah, let's just grab another strength. Okay. We'll do that, I suppose. Now, this Bless... Well, it actually does make him size 10. He is also 9, so he'd get 30% extra health as well. Which is 40 points for him, normally. Yeah, alright, let's do it. Scales, M.A. Machaka. And we're doing... Oh, that's right, we're doing the 1v1v1. Okay, yeah. So for this one, I believe we don't want to put in any thrones. If I... Whoops. I'm just going to go to the workshop page real quick. I just did this map last night with Lego. There are 6 preset level 2 thrones, so set the game settings accordingly. I'd set win victory to 6 points for 3 of the thrones. Yes. So we don't want to actually put in any thrones. Because if we add in 6 more thrones, basically every throne we take will count as 2 thrones. So we just want to do this. So we have to get 3 of the 6, which means probably taking the one in the center, taking the one that's going to be right underneath us, and then one at the bottom of the pit, sort of where the Carcosa shit is. Yeah, okay. We will do it. We will do it. We will do it. I will actually be right back. Okay. Well, we started in the southeast, which is good. So I'm sick of the northwest and the shitty Iron Dragon I have to fight there. And I'm pretty sure this one up here is like fire snakes or something. But maybe that's the one down here. I don't know. We're gonna go find out. Research. Prophetize. And then, yeah, we just kind of want to start making our hoplites, right? I mean, this is valuable to us. We can make not many of them, but we will make them. And again, there is something to be said about just sending in a few of these. 71 hit points, 17 damage before Blood Surge. I mean, they will kind of shred, won't they? So maybe we would benefit from just like a handful of these. Just until I get resources. Stop it. Okay, and then for Mage, we could start making just assassins, but I think we want to do some more research than that. The Sorcerers are big boy, but that's 300 gold. So I guess for now, just make a couple Witch Doctors. Just to get research flowing a bit. And speaking of research, if we want to do assassin stuff, we should get Thaumaturgy 1. And I guess we could just continue down Thaumaturgy to get remote site searching, which I always enjoy. It's kind of, yeah, okay. Beyond that, there's things. I mean, enchantment for sure, but we probably want Phoenix Power. Okay. Fucking Valmoran is in the game. So we got Pangea, Pyrene, M.A. Pyrene. It's a lot of blood magic, but they do have these Emerald Knights, so depending on their bless, that could be really nasty. And then Valmoran, who gets the Siege Tanks and the Fire Belchers. All I can say is I'm hoping probably for Pangea to be my neighbor, but I guess we'll see. Fast. These guys are quite fast. Something like that. Something like that. Divine Blessing. Couple sermons. Okay. And we're gonna go after our archers here. Spiders are coming. Oh, Lord, they're coming. Boom, 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 boom. All right, so. The Rider has 20 protection, 17 defense. The Lance is hitting for 24. Plus, God, like a lot more. The Lance hits hard as hell. And the Falchion, 26 slashing. Good God. The Spider, however, which is what we're going to be mostly looking at, I think. 16 protection, 10 defense, 71 hit points. They do heal slowly. And they have 18 damage, piercing venomous fangs, which if it does any amount of damage, will just automatically add on 35 poison, which is pretty nasty against anything that doesn't die outright. Needless to say, they shredded pretty hard there. And they're going to be kind of tricky to kill with 71 hit points and 16 protection. Let alone the actual riders. Okay, that was good. We did lose 13 warriors. Because well, they're not hoplites, so we're gonna work on that. We only lost one archer though, surprisingly. But yeah, the 4 black hunters got 27 kills. We got Machumba, the ape oracle. That's nice. I'll take that. It's more research. So yeah, the problem is these things are so expensive. I think we're going to start working on this now, and that allows me to get a sorcerer. We could get an assassin, though. Phantasmal beasts. Uh-oh. Alright, 8 archers that time, 7 warriors. Didn't get any kills, but the black hunters are doing quite well for themselves. Also, we found 2 nature gems. So yeah, we might want to get a lab set up in one of these spots. I mean, it's a little pricey to do so, but could be worth it. And then we can start getting, well, actually, they don't recommend pygmies until you have flaming arrows. So yeah, let's just go with these. All right, phantasmal beasts. So, phantasmal stuff. So we have, there is stuff, true sight, right? And we can give gift of true sights. Let me just look up a phantasmal beast. Okay, so they are ethereal. They're ethereal. So actually, this doesn't help at all with that. We just need magic damage, which is a little problematic because we don't have that. Yeah, we don't have any of that. Not really our forte, but the our assassins do have magic damage. So I wonder if I can just send in a few assassins to whittle down these things. I'm gonna go ahead and make one. We just want to see how he's gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and make the lab here. Actually, why don't we test you on barbarians? I think you'll have very little problem with barbarians, if I had to guess. And we're just going to have you cast personal luck and then attack closest. I think you can be kind of close for that. Alright, so yeah, the throne here, heavy crossbowmen, false horrors, phantasmal beasts, and knights with a huge demiurge. Yaldabaoth. Fun in the sun. We'll see about that. Now the hoplites are going to be doing work. They're fighting the heavy cav. Surviving as the spiders just will swoop in to save the day. And the spiders can't really be stopped, it seems. Except some of these have... No? Okay. Oh, we're all good? Oh, no. Nah, they did catch a limp. Yeah, limp spider. So, yeah, they took on a heavy cav charge, and we only lost 3 of them, so I'm pretty pleased with that performance. hold the line while those spiders do all the work. Not bad at all. Yeah, I mean, we may want to throw in just like 1 or 2 spiders in there just for fun. But yeah, we got to keep getting that. And then now we can make witch doctors here to our heart's content. Money's a little tight. Go. Okay. Assassinate. Let's take a look. The barbarian chief. Catching him asleep. Personal luck. Did hit him. Okay. It's decaying now, so he is 1 point of damage from decay because he's getting real nice and old. So it is probably die within minutes. So it is kind of like a poison almost. The damage over time too. Yeah. Okay. Now he immediately took an ever healing wound. But yes, here. So just luck. So we would have lost that. We would have 100%. I mean, we would have killed him probably from decay no matter what, which is nice. But yeah, so he rolled attack 16 versus our 15. His damage roll was 27 plus 4 versus our 19 plus 4. So 8 points of damage. It was 10 because of slash damage. That would have been fatal. But luck just completely negated it. And so we took nothing. And then we killed him. So yeah, that's the benefit of that. So we may want to, once we have a bit more funds and stuff, just keep pumping out assassins to do our dirty work. Because they're relatively cheap. In fact, we can throw another one in there. Let's go after the Horse Tribe Cavalry. The coastal provinces, as we remember, are all very highly populated. Very nice income. We can see here it's 126, here it's 187, but they are not easy fights. So it's probably more important to keep moving north and try to get at least our halfway spot, you know. So we at least get our property. Oh, I didn't set him to... Oh, I did. Okay, good. So now, second Barbarian Chief inside of a tavern. So they're all drunk. And I'm going to go around and just butcher all the civilians because I like to do that. Ooh, I just took 8 damage. Okay. And we got the kill again. So I'm pretty sure, again, probably luck saved our life. Yep, luck negated this. I would have taken 25 damage there. And then I negated another one. That was 6 points of damage and would have killed me. So now he would have died in total 3 times. But that luck saved us. Extremely good. And I don't know if that's a new spell or they just now get access to it compared to 5. But it doesn't seem like he even mentions that. No, he doesn't mention this at all. I mean, he mentions the assassins, but he just says that they have heavy armor, but they're slow, equipped with retinue items. So, yeah, this is like a new thing that we can do now, and it's really nice. Also a battle in Skepany. Boom. Commander's dead. Fight over. Love it. No deaths. Not even an archer death. That's shocking. Alright, I'm pretty sure there's not going to be many more commanders, but we'll move in. Down here, of course, there's just a lot of undead, but that's not too bothersome. We have Thaumaturgy 3, so I think you should be able to do Haruspecs. And we need to get a guy with 2 fire going. Which I probably should start making Spider Sorceresses. Although, no, I mean, eventually the Sorcerer will get it. And they're not old, and they have really good research. So probably, although these are cheaper. But who cares about money? Oh, one more assassination. Out in the open this time. He's really gonna have to depend on that luck. Oh, or just one-shot the fucker. That'll do it. And then, yeah, nothing. Thank you, assassin. You've done your job well. Okay. So we're going to send the assassin over to Blackport, because if I can actually whittle down and take one of these coastal provinces before I'm technically able to take down a coastal province, we'll be in pretty good spot. We also have another guy, so he can go over there. And why don't we just copy this and copy this. Good, good. So, I mean, these guys, the thing, like, okay, we can make fires in a jar, right? And if we give a fire in a jar to all these guys, they can spend the gem to upcast into Phoenix power, and then we just have a whole horde of cheap level 2 fire mages. Not that cheap, because fire in a jar is 5 fire gems. But that's why I'm hoping to get into, yeah, alright. I'm gonna send out... I'm gonna send out a Betty to auto site search. We're doing Haruspecs, which is fine, but this guy will find any level 1 fire, well, level 1 earth, level 1 death, and level 1 glamour spots. Just to try to get some more gems going. We do want to do different things with gems. Okay. That's pretty good and strong. So now we're gonna move north. Again, we want to get at least this. Like this is the bare minimum of what we want. If we can get this line though, that's a bit better. It does provoke a war even sooner, but you know, it's like, okay, so we got 1, 2 spaces. His capital is like here, I think. He gets 1, 2 spaces. So this is sort of the dividing line, you know? Like, one side or the other is going to get this, and they'll have a slight advantage on provinces. So we'll see. Yeah, okay. Serpent Lord. Okay, we caught him alone. Does have 18 protection, but no defense, and he's asleep, so we can get decay on him and maybe live. Or even if we die, he might die. Oh, we're doing some damage. Boom. Once again, we didn't even need luck that time. We just won. Excellent. Okay, and then a Centurion. I always like to actually watch the assassin battle. It's just so tense. 1v1. 4 damage. Done. Did pick up an ever-healing wound, but that's fine. Alright, so that's 2 of those commanders done. Excellent. Go again. And we have another guy ready to go. Yeah, I mean, I guess he could work maybe on this stuff. Alright, so the one down in Alar, Emerald Guards, Ghouls, Vampires with the King in Yellow, several Vampire counts. That one I remember being kind of tricky, especially if we don't have a lot of magic weapons. Will I be able to assassinate the King in Yellow? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. I would guess not, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe with some gear? I mean, these guys are going to be pretty ridiculous with gear. Very potent little assassins, but the beauty is that you don't need gear to just kill a lot of shit. Yeah, you know, we may want to set up another lab. We probably want to start building temples. So maybe throw in a priest of some kind here. Ear of the Lord. Yeah. Alright, no enemy commanders to assassinate there. We defeated that fucking coastal province in a single turn. Crazy. Alright, another heavy cav charge. Spiders, though, already working on the back line. Routed, dead, routed, dead. One archer, 3 hoplites died, but we're feeling good about it. Alright, so we're going to have you attack the current province, and we will have you go work on this one. We obviously want this one. This one's pretty important to us because it has our connection to the middle. We want to save that one for last, ideally, because this is going to be the hardest one to hold. It has 0 population, which means 0 provincial defense and 0 supplies there. The supply thing can be managed. We have nature mages and glamour. Like, we can make things to give us supplies, items. And then the no PD, it's like, okay, and we can just sit there and hold it. But, yeah, I probably want to save it for last. Whereas, we got to get down to the underground. Alright, we're going to go take... Obviously, we want the advantage here, so we're going to go take this and then work our way around and get everything else. We have Thaumaturgy 4. I could do some more remote searching. Well, no, actually, I can't. Oh, I do have Augury now. Okay. Start casting Augury. Did find an Enchanted Pyre and Quicksand. And you walked into Capes? Is that what I'm to understand? Oh, no. You walked into Blackport? Oh, no. I'm an idiot. There were no assassinations this time. Yeah, but there you go. That's the power of an assassin. Because that's it. You know, it's not a insane battle or anything, but these Serpent Cataphracts are pretty nasty heavy cavalry, and the Principes are pretty nice heavy infantry and things like that. The Status. Yeah, so easy done, easy done. Excellent. Alright, go assist here. You're going to assassinate. You are going to assassinate. And we have another guy to go assassinate. It's just so good. Yeah, I guess keep working it. Alright, so we're not going to go past this, because that's really just inviting a war that I don't think we could win. But maybe. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just a lot of plains here. This is not going to have anything. This is all farmland and plains. To get the magic sites, we really want to go down underneath, where there's highlands, forests, caves, drip caves, stuff like that. Where am I sending you? Yeah, okay, yeah, I suppose we probably will want the money. Okay. We can get more hoplites. Another spider. Got a farm of plenty. We tried to assassinate a serpent lord. Okay, that is a cataphract. We got decay on him, though. Oh, he did rout us and kill us. And he did not die, but his mount died. Yeah, okay. That's unfortunate, but that's part of the cost of doing business. Over here. These ones are trickier now, because this is... Oh, yeah, that was tricky. Damn. Okay. Starting to enter some heavier opposition here. That's okay. It's okay. That's okay. Yeah. For now, I'm fine doom stacking and using assassins. Alright, Centurion. There you go. Nice to get a victory there. Another flawless victory here. Excellent. And now we have our line in the sand. We still don't know who our neighbor is. Assassinate. You will build a temple. You will assassinate. Yeah, we could just make assassins at the moment. I don't know if that's the brightest idea. But man, they are pretty nice, aren't they? Alright, just make assassins for the moment. Okay. 2 different Serpent Lord attempts here. Another one. Okay, so this is the guy without his mount. So he's already gotten an assassination attempt and lived. Oh, yep, got him. Alright. So we did die. But he did his job and killed a fucking Serpent Lord, so I'm happy with that. But this one is going to be trickier. Oh, no. Okay, so yeah, in the tavern, they don't get their mount no matter what. Perfect. And death. Excellent. So, 1 for 1. It's not ideal. Certainly not ideal, but I'll take it. Because this allows me to just really whittle down armies. And these are tough fights. These are fights that are going to be guaranteed losses otherwise. So, if all I have to spend is 150 gold... I mean, there's the opportunity cost of not making a mage that turn, sure. But still, 150 gold... I believe they are cap only, just to be certain. Yeah, okay. But yeah, it's worth it to me. Alright, so Pyrene is up here to the northwest. I want another fort somewhere, but the problem is you really don't want forts on these coastal provinces unless you just need an obscene amount of money, because they're gonna have like no resources. So you want a fort probably here in Lowmark, if I had to pick one, that's gonna have connections to... It's on a forest, it's gonna be connected to a forest, a mountains, a forest, and a plains. Yeah, and these give pretty big resources. So we probably want a fort here in Lowmark for more soldiers, more hoplites. After Enchantment 2, I could see just going straight on to Enchantment 5 for various reasons. And I think we will. I actually lost 2 sacreds on that one due to these nasty dark vines. That's alright, I'm about to go pick up a lot more. You're gonna go back home. We're going to... Fuck, we're gonna build this. And we're going to go see what's here. You're going to build temple. I have 2 assassins that I'm just letting sit here. Okay. And away we go. Yeah, so I know I said that I was going to not really build many of these, but they turn out to be pretty damn good when they just are that large, they have that huge of a health pool. The rider and everything doesn't really even matter, but he can do a lot of damage too. So they are just a pretty beefy fucking thing, even with no armor and almost guaranteed to be hit and only 16 protection. Then just that massive health pool combined with how many we have, it's pretty good. I think we can probably win this, even without magic damage. There's only 3 phantasmal beasts. They're not that dangerous. Pangea declared war upon us and attacked us in Lomark with wolves. And then my commander walked in and died. And they also attacked us in the first forest. Boy, they went very aggressive with that, didn't they? So he cast the ritual that spawned the werewolf and the wolves here in Lomark, and then also attacked first forest. That's good raiding stuff. Okay, well, we can't afford to go hang out elsewhere. But now I gotta put PD in all these places. At least 21. And they killed my commander that was gonna build a palisade there. Oh. Good thing I didn't... At least he had the courtesy not to wait until I spent 1,000 gold. That was nice. Oh, we also got the Lady of Spiders, who is 1 fire, 3 earth, 3 death, 2 glamour, 24 research. She just summons spiders. Well, we know who our neighbor is to the north, which means that Pyrene is going to have to deal with the fucking siege tanks. I want to have this spy just, like, try and observe when I battle with those. Alright, yeah, what a fucker. I'll have to doom stack all over you. Ooh, he did not find any enemy commander to assassinate, but here he killed a centurion, I assume. Oh, with a standard bearer as a bodyguard. Okay, well, we got him. And he attacked right where my army was. So say goodbye to your wolves. Okay. Yada, 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 yada. We just gotta beat the shit out of him. I mean, I wouldn't mind signing an NAP. It's just one less thing, right? I think... I don't know if an actual player would ever sign an NAP, but maybe. I am pretty annoying in the early game. And maybe he would think that he could just beat me in the later game, which is probably true. Not a whole lot of nature sites, were there? God damn. That's pretty obnoxious. Let's send you over to assassinate this stuff. Or maybe they send you here to start assassinating this stuff. Alright, and you... So there's nothing left here, so you're gonna go here. And you're gonna attack the current province. Has he moved at all? Man, he's Balmoran's struggling. Compared to Pyrene and myself. Alright. Yeah, we did not find any on that one. We found a shimmering waterfall. We attacked Lomark, took it back, and we obviously... He scared them all off. It's a really ridiculous concept, but it always is so amusing to me. This one little guy walks onto the field, and they're like, oh god, there's no one to lead us, run! Alright. Attack. Guess we'll work on Godhaven, then. I guess theoretically we could start working on the capital. Alright, we'll just wait here for now. He'll eventually attack that and we'll be able to see. Assassinate! Let's take on the first forest. Okay. Tried to kill a captain. Pirate captain. Boom. No try about it. Fucking 35 damage. Jesus. Okay. Walked down to Coast Haven. Took it without a scratch. And at battle in the first forest, which he vacated wisely to avoid losing his whole army. Like I said, at this point, I don't really care to fight him, so I'll assign an NAP. I'm going to just patrol here, well, search here for the moment. We do want to get a guy to build here. Like I wanted to before. Assassinate. Assassinate. Move. Sneak. Oh god, I got a lot of assassins. Sneak. 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 Assassinate. Okay. Research is looking decent. Gonna get enchantment 5 soon, so we could start making pygmies. But I think what we want to work on after that is probably construction. To get at the very least, fire in a jar. And then maybe some evocation just to drop some fire damage. Okay, a lot of stuff. Try to assassinate a centurion. That should be no problem. Does have a standard bearer, but not overly worried. Done. We did not find any in that province. Wish it just told... Why doesn't it have the name of the province anywhere here? We tried to assassinate a serpent lord. Okay, that's going to be a little trickier, but we got him inside the tavern. He rushes right up to us like a fool. Oh, that didn't work out, and we didn't even get a decay on him. Alright. Damn it. And he did attack us in the first forest. We lost. Okay, well, this means two things. Well, it means that he didn't accept our NAP. And it means that we're now in a very bad position. How did we... Oh, God, his centaurs went right to the rear. No bodyguards of any kind. They snuck right back past my massive line. And then we just got kind of decimated on the route. So we lost a total of 10 black hunters. And 47 hoplites. 111 dispersed. 89 made it back to friendly territory. Could have been worse. But that was my profit It's going to be a lot harder to get those guys blessed now. On the flip side, I think I did do a number to him. Yeah, I killed 112 of his shit. So, he lost more than I did, but yeah, he just sniped my commander easily. I forgot I've never really gone up against Pangea much. I don't think I realized how many just cavalry he has. 32 speed, shits. Cataphracts. So we gotta get another military commander. Probably just the Machaka commander. Or... no, I mean, we may as well make it the Voice of the Lord. For the level 2 Bless. I'm iffy to move on to low mark, but we've got units there. Sure, I guess I will. Construct a temple. So Sailor's Haven has already been cleared. I guess we'll move to... okay. Not ideal, not ideal. Yeah, he obviously refused. We're aware of that. We walked in here, cleared that out. Yeah. Alright, I think we're gonna want another one. But we'll move to low mark for now. And I know. We're gonna put a few bodyguards in. Still doesn't really help against a concerned, a directed cavalry charge to my rear. But still might get effed. But what are you gonna do? Alright. Yada 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 yada. Okay. The Knight Commander down here. Surely you can handle that. I don't know why I say surely. It's a heavy cav. Yeah, that didn't work. Also, he's a special heavy cav, isn't he? Because he's got equipment. That's right. It's his 25 fucking defense. That one's gonna be a tough one to crack open. And he's also lucky. Shit. That one's gonna be tough. We might not actually be able to do an assassination battle here. A battle deacon, though. That should be no problem. Look at this little asshole. Boom, dead. Okay. And a centurion. Problem. Boom, dead. That's how assassination should go. There's an arena battle. Oh, is it? Coming arena. Oh, can't do that because he's in enemy territory. I don't have another one that's not in enemy territory now. Damn. Alright, I would have participated. I'm gonna assume that there's not that many. So I'm gonna have the last guy just attack. I trust that we'll get it done. we're gonna go here and start rounding up all these troops. I probably should get more sorcerers. We could start getting pygmies. But for now, just give me more assassins. And here we find out how tricky this is going to be. We have to kill Orcus, the Prince of Death. That sounds... Nah, I don't know if we'll catch him drunk in a tavern, to be honest. And here, I just don't think we'll ever get the assassination off there. I'd have to get a lucky hit and get him decayed, and then maybe. And it's like, how many mages do I really want to throw at that problem when I could just destroy the army that's here? Like instead, we could be just really fucking over Pangaea. And if I play my cards right, I mean, we probably could just beat Pangaea, which would be a big load off my shoulders. But due to the way that that battle went, I'm not quite certain on it. Alrighty then. We also have not found many gems. Okay, Bone Crush the Shade Lord. Do you think we beat Bone Crush the Shade Lord? With his horde of skeleton spam? I'm gonna guess not. Fucking hell, that's gonna be impossible. Now, is he always gonna have this gems? He's always gonna have horde of skeletons. So that we'd have to catch him... like, alone. I don't know if that's actually gonna ever happen. Okay, that was easy. Serpent Lord. We may not actually kill this, so I may have suicided the final assassin there. Oh. Yep, we got the mount, we didn't get him. So that means this guy will die. Yep. Good, good. Glad I tried that. Okay, a different Shade Lord. Still outside, still horde of skeleton spam. You'll never win. It's ridiculous amount of skeleton. How many times did he cast that? What the fuck? 7 times he cast it. He's only at 24 fatigue. Because he's fucking upcasting constantly reduced fatigue. Like nothing. Jesus. By the way, Valmorin still hasn't taken this. We still have yet to witness a battle there. That's wild. Alright, assassinate. And then, you're here to pick up troops. Pick up troops. And go here to pick up troops. I guess we just keep moving on Pangaea, right? I mean, I could sign the NAP again. Winning an actual war is just... Yeah, I think we'd rather try to get the NAP at least one more time. We'll see. Did augury, like, almost everywhere. You can do it one more time. We gotta work on thrones, man. Thrones! It's a game of thrones. Okay, so the Shade Lords are going to be basically impossible to assassinate. This thing's basically impossible to assassinate. I guess if I am going to try to sign the NAP, probably don't want to keep moving up there to assassinate his shit. But he might just really refuse, in which case I do want to fuck up his shit. The problem is I don't think I'm really going to be able to assassinate anything down here. So assassins might be reaching the end of their usefulness. Well, there is down here the undead and stuff. And how can I live with myself if I don't attempt to assassinate the King in Yellow at least once? So I suppose go on down. We'll see what else we can get up to. But yeah, we probably want more mages than this. We do have a lot of these guys. And they can all be level 2 fire dudes. once I start making fire in a jar, which could be right now. It requires level 1 fire. Okay, so fuck it. All of you are going to make your own fire in a jar. Boom, done. Here's all my fire gems, but that's worth it. Yeah, that makes this shield a hell of a lot better than I ever thought about. Yeah, that's a very good shield, especially for a lot of assassins. So we could throw, yeah, like black steel full plate onto an assassin, but they're already wearing pretty heavy armor. They have 19 protection. That's not where they're failing. They're failing just due to the nature of being assassins. He recommends assassins equipped with boots of swiftness or a lion pelt, and later acorns, amulet of dead, and spirit mask. Acorns, amulet of the dead? Look at some of these things here. Amulet of the dead gives you the animate skeleton spell with a +2 reanimation bonus. So that actually lets you animate 3 long dead as a spell, which is not bad. I think that's what it is, right? I assume we can't make that yet. Make Skull Talisman, Amulet of the Dead, Bane Vena, there it is. So it's Divine Reanimation bonus and Ritual Reanimation bonus, so I don't think that actually includes Animate Skeleton. Okay. Acorns and Spirit Mask. This gives you 3 Vine Men with you, which we've seen before to be pretty handy. Actually, yeah, that would do quite nicely for our assassins, wouldn't it? Just give the assassin more time to actually land like a decay shot or you know, any sort of killing blow. And then the Spirit Mask, which I assume is also death. Gives auto spell Frightens. This will automatically cast this throughout the battle. Frighten 5, armor negating, and gives you magic resistance and gives you spirit sight. Pretty good. I don't think any of these really help us deal with that horde of skeleton spam. We would need like an actual like thug. But I suppose if we kitted out a Bane Spider to the 9s with like a Vine Shield and a Frost Brand, probably even better armor, and maybe a retinue of some kind or something else. Yeah, I mean, we probably could. Probably could. I don't have water, though, I don't believe, so it'd have to be a Firebrand. But I think that's good. I'd have to get Construction 5, though. I should. But at the same time, we have Enchantment 5 now. We can do a lot of things with that. But I probably need to switch now to get more mages. We need the black sorcerers to come out to be actually, like, useful. As expensive and slow as they are. Okay, sure, I suppose. On some catacombs. Try to assassinate that Serpent Lord again. A lot of civilians in here. Nearly died, but I didn't suffer any permanent injuries. Oh man, hold on. How many times did luck trigger here? Once. Just once. Okay. Excellent. He actually hit me in the head with his lance, and I took 0 damage because I got such good armor. Excellent. And then he attacked the first forest with just a little tiny mercenary group. Died. Yeah, I mean, fire mages are fire mages, man. Level 2 lets them all cast Fireball. A lot of fireballs. Okay. And we're continuing to build up our army. It'd be nice to actually summon spiders. The God Brood or whatever. 12 nature gems is still pretty high. But not that high when we get Mother Oak going. So Alteration 5 should be another big goal. Maybe more of the construction. Let's get Alteration 5 and then Conjuration 4. And then we should be able to do a lot of God Brood shit every turn. Because we'll be making 12 a turn, so I can have someone cast it every round. And then combined with the Sacreds that we're recruiting, it's going to be quite a lot of big, giant, nasty devil spiders. I think just to spend money, I'm going to bump up the PD all here to just form a nice wall. Alright, Pangea refused, but I sent another one right away. We can make a profit again. He didn't find any enemy commander to assassinate. We found something in the first forest for free. In the gallows. Nice, nice. I'm going to go ahead and make this guy our new prophet. Do I want to try assassinating this thing? I feel like it's going to be the same sort of knight that's just kind of tricky. So I think we just want to keep going down to the underground. You're going to attack here to clear that out. You're going to keep moving to build temples. And you pick up the rest of these units. Perfect. You got quite a few. Did build a palisade here along the border. Now we just need to make this a demilitarized zone, and then we'll be happy. Yeah, 2 fire, 2 earth, 2 death, 1 glamour. That is a very usable unit. I think you could probably thug with these pretty well, and that's what he recommends. Black Sorcerer with Regen Ring, Trident / Storm Spool, and Soul Vortex / Regen plus Phoenix Pyre plus Iron Skin plus Fire Shield plus Temper Flesh. Right. So, yeah, this one, then we get this. Is this the only one we have? It's a black sword. Is that our first one, I think? Right. Oh, no, this one as well. Oh, no, that is the same one. But the Lady of Spiders, I mean, that gives you quite a lot of buffs. Soul Vortex, Temper Flesh, Shroud of Bewilderment, personal, well, invulnerability, or personal Iron Skin, Stone Skin, whatever. Yeah, quite a bit. And then with a Skull Standard, she could really just fucking spam Horde of Skeletons. with Summon Earth Power as well. And some, like, Summon Earth Power, more, like a Girdle of Might or something. I mean, man, oh man, the amount of skeletons she could just constantly spit out would be disgusting. So I think, yeah, that's something we should consider for her. Probably don't even need Soul Vortex, but I would need that Skull Standard to boost up her death even higher. So we'll get to that. We'll get to all that fun stuff later. Right, anyways. Let's end turn. Alright, Pangaea refused again. Found a Hall of Merriment. We had a battle in Godhaven that, look at that. Oh, it's just so good. 242 just fleeing for their lives. Incredible. And we got our palisade built. Okay. I guess I'll also send you down. You will build a temple. You are going to turn this into a fortress. We can start making hoplites here. And pygmies. I guess I could just make a lot of fucking pygmies here. Oh, so many pygmies. We're honestly kind of a dumb amount of pygmies, perhaps. That's a lot of pygmies every single turn of the game. That's why I sort of want the Hail of Burning Embers, because then it would be one cast and they all will rain fire down. But it's a lot of gems. But okay, just I need to confirm this, because I think I mentioned this in the tutorial and I didn't double check my facts, but I'm pretty sure you can spend a number of gems to upcast based on your base level. They cannot spend more gems on a spell than their skill level in the respective path. They can spend one extra gem as a one-level path boost for meeting spellcasting requirements. Right. Okay. Okay. Fuck. That video is now quite incorrect. I mean, I was, like, half correct. So, the total amount of gems you spend on a spell can't be more than their skill level in the path. But I think that is not necessarily their base level. So if they have like an item that's boosting it to 3, they can spend 3. But that's 3 gems on everything. That's upcasting, that's fatigue reduction, and that's for any gems that the spell costs. So your skill level before gem spending is your gem limit for a single spell cast. That I should have double checked, because now that's incorrect information and that really bothers me. I might have to put in a comment. Yeah, I'll worry about that later. But okay, yeah. So our level 2 fire mages would not be able to cast, no matter how many gems they're carrying, they would not be able to cast Hail of Burning Embers. Because it's a level 4 spell. It's also level 7, so we're never going to get here. But it's a level 4 spell that costs 2 gems. Which means, at minimum, you need to have a skill level going in of 3 fire. Oh, no, with Phoenix Power. Yeah, summon Phoenix Power. Okay, no, I think they could then. So they summon Phoenix Power to 3, and then they spend 3 gems total. Ah, that's not bad then. Okay, then I can just have one of these guys just carrying 3 fire gems. Or a fire in a jar and an elemental apprentice, really. And then bada bing, bada boom. So we may actually want to shoot for enchantment 7. But we're talking pretty high numbers here. I think we need to get another lab going. Go here to build another lab, I guess. Fucking Pangaea. He also lost ground to these, this is what, adventurer group or whatever. Again! And we're gonna hold here. I'm just gonna preach. You should have been preaching the whole time. Okay, go down. Go down. Yeah, we could take the step of wild horses, but honestly, I don't really care that much. It is a lot of big money, but whatever. Our god has arrived. God of suicides. Excellent. There he is. All right, the super combatant. That's right. Right, we didn't even give him fire to cast Hail of Burning Embers. We just wanted to make him a super combatant. So he can cast on himself. Summon Earth Power. Personal Iron Skin. Can't benefit from any regeneration, I believe. Yeah, he'll be... cannot do any regen, which is tricky then. But he does have Enchanted Blood, which is nice. He could get Temper Flesh, just he's not slash resistant, so there's that. But we probably don't want to send him out until we get Soul Vortex and Invulnerability. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So for now, buddy, you're just going to be doing your 48 research, which is pretty big. You are going to build a lab here. I guess I could build a lab here, and then we could actually just make sorcerers. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, we'll just do that. It's a better way to do it. Oh, and we did get a 3-fire guy. So he doesn't even need to... He only needs 2 fire gems then to cast it. So he should just make for himself the Elemental Apprentice, and then boom. We have we already have 82 pygmies. So once we have like 400 or 500, I think we can start leading them down. And, or man, I mean, we could take Lost Camo, but, and the fire will be insane for that because it's magic damage. But we're going to leave that for last because my hundreds of pygmies are all going to starve out on the Lost Capital. So we'll save that for last. Okay. Pangea refused again. And we're starting to starve in the first forest. It's just too much shit. Oh, I'm an idiot. I keep sending these guys back and forth because I keep thinking that's the way down. So stupid. It's like, why aren't they getting down there? What's happening? Yeah, as for the starving thing, I guess I probably could separate these two. Of you move here, I suppose. You will do a similar strat. Okay. Yeah. All right, so what's the charts looking like? Well, we're doing well in provinces, meaning that none of them have gone downstairs to clear out a lot of stuff. We're doing very well on income. Very well on gem income. We're actually at the top of research. We're at the top of Dominion. We are not at the top of army size, though. Pangea's got us beat there, which is why I'm really trying to make nice. He just makes it so damn hard. We're up to 163. So yeah, we're making like 80 pygmies a turn. Gonna be tough to wrangle all those pygmies. I also have 120 things back in my garrison. So we probably could make another Voice of the Lord. Throw that in there. Did attack Berman Highs, but he suffered a pretty humiliating defeat, thanks to all my PD there. And the fact I had an army there. But I think the PD would have won regardless. Oh, he finally took it. Or he tried to take it with a stupid little mercenary pack. What is wrong with you, Van Moren? What's wrong with you? Alright, we can start getting sorcerers here. Money is going to catch up with us. So, probably could take over the Steppe of Wild Horses if we wanted to make some more assassins. He refused again, and he attacked both the first forest, where he suffered a very humiliating defeat, and Berman Highs, an even more stupid defeat. We can do this all day, buddy. But again, I just don't benefit from really going to war with him for an extended period. So we will just continue to send this, because I'm still not sure what it does. Luckily, I just avoided the whole topic in my tutorial videos. I mean, I mentioned NAPs and stuff, but I didn't mention what happens if it doesn't go through. Because it's just like, you know, I don't have an answer for you. No one has an answer for you. The answer doesn't exist. No one knows what that means. I think maybe we'll try to just take this, because I think I can while I'm sitting here. Alright, let's kill some ghouls and vampires. And we're just gonna end. Alright, try to assassinate a vampire count in his home. He's not sleeping, unfortunately. And he summoned skeletons. Our bane. Oh, nope, we got routed. Fuck. He's gonna do that every damn time. He attacked Capes and took it, unfortunately. Didn't suffer that much. Attacked Berman Highs, lost. First Forest, lost. Blah, blah, blah. So now, what an asshole. So now I have to bump this up. I'm gonna move this here, move this here. We're getting to have a lot of pygmies. Maybe we're getting to the point of too many pygmies. I can only handle 100 per commander. That's a lot of commanders. I should be making a commander basically every time. Yeah, well, pretty much. Okay, I guess I can do a sorcerer. No, okay, just make a commander. Make a couple commanders. I don't know, man. Just wait until I have money. Okay, fucking vampire count is going to be a bit too tricky, I think. But if we caught him sleeping... it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, man. Alright, hold an attack closest, hold an attack rear. You're going to cast Bless, Bless, Bless. And I should give you some bodyguards just in case. Okay, take it. And I can't attack him, can I? Because of the fucking NAP that I just sent. We're waiting to hear back on. Okay, great. So just hold and just make sure this is reinforced. Even though I don't think it'll hold him. Now he accepted. He just wanted Capes. Alright, we tried to assassinate the vampire count again. Oh, even worse situation here. Summons imps. Oh. Oh, got him. We can do it. They bleed. They bleed. Alright, and then our battle on the staircase. It was pretty nasty. Come on, spiders, do your thing. There you go. Man, I lost a lot of hoplites. That one commander. What the fuck? Are you serious? This one spirit helmet just spamming lightning bolt. That's what won? I mean, that is a really good item, though. Auto spell lightning bolt is pretty nuts for, like... I mean, get that on a thug or something. Alright, so we lost... Crazy. Fucking crazy. One knight commander. Okay, but on the flip side, we're now buddies with Pangea. He took Capes, but I'm not gonna cry about that. I will cry that our fucking prophet is disease. Come on. What's the cure disease thing? Weavers of the Wood. Oh, yeah, okay. There's a cure disease spell, right? It's Thaumaturgy 4, requires Nature 4, so our big guy will be able to cast that. So get back home. We'll suss this out. You will keep assassinating here. You're gonna go back home. A lot of damn pygmies. We probably are going to want alteration 6 for Soul Vortex and maybe even 7 for Phoenix Pyre. So just keep going. Don't stop. Pangea declare. What the? What? Come on. What the fuck, man? Come on! Why are you like this? Yeah. Damn. Tough, those spellcasters that you just will never ever catch alone for whatever reason. Just extremely hard to break through. Why would you want to? It's because he can't take this. Like, he's so incapable of clearing out the rest of the indies, and so his only option is to keep attacking me. That's his only option. So it's like, I guess, I mean, I could just keep stacking PD. Just in these handful of places until he accepts again, and then he'll break it right away again. But 100 PD, he will really struggle to ever break through if we can get it up to that. But that's a lot of money, and I'm not making that much money. But I really would rather be focusing on big picture stuff. Taking thrones. Kicking ass. Don't want to have to deal with fucking Pangea. But we are getting pretty close to where my god could just wander through his lands forever and not die. Like, I feel less confident about sending him against like these nasty armies. These nasty independent armies, but against Pangea, it's gonna be probably a bit easier. Fortunately, we're not at enchantment 7 yet, and that's gonna take a little bit. Oh yeah, Mother Oak. Oh yeah, we were gonna summon spiders. Oh yeah, I forgot all about this. Cure disease. Sarhan. It's a lot of fucking pigmies, man. You can cool it and just go back to sorcerers. It's a lot of fucking pygmies. I don't know. They probably don't have that much upkeep, though. 216. It's significant, but we're gonna lose them. Enchantment 7 is probably about... yeah, 5 turns away. Probably, give or take. But once these two arrive, actually, probably let's just cool it on the pygmies. We'll see how effective they are if I want to continue. Yeah, after he casts this, he'll cast Mother Oak. I could start kitting out. Now we have Soul Vortex, so she probably could do quite well for herself with some armor. So why don't you... well, no, she doesn't really need armor, does she? Between Invulnerability and Personal Iron Skin and Soul Vortex and Temper Flesh, she's not really depending on armor. She wants low encumbrance to spam Horde of Skeletons. I don't know if there's anything that helps Horde of Skeletons spam as an item. It's also Rigor Mortis, which is a good combo, but it's a very high fatigue thing and requires Death 4. So we'd really need like a separate mage, and it will fatigue my mage. So it's Yeah, there's different thoughts involved here. I probably just need more construction, though. Although, I mean, with it... yeah, we just need more construction, so we'll leave it. Okay. Yes, I guess. Got Cure Disease. Good. Cured his disease. Now you're going to cast Mother Oak. Good. And I guess let's roll out. Oh boy, it's gonna be. This is gonna be something. You and you and you and you. We're fucking doom stacking. I do have a 3 nature guy. But we don't quite have wooden warriors yet. Unfortunately, and I would need a couple 3 nature guys for that to work. Open Army is great, it's fantastic, but it's pretty pricey, and it's Alteration 7, which we'll get to eventually, but not yet. Right. Oh man, he's got a big force too. Fuck. He's just gonna run rampant through my land. I'm moving everything away now. This is dumb. This is gonna be dumb. This is so dumb. Alright, we got Mother Oak, so that's good. Yeah, we're starving, alright. And then we're gonna take all our mages that have the fire in the jar. Okay, their standard script is gonna be Phoenix Power. And then probably, just throw out fireballs, I guess. We liketh the fireballs. Or they could do rage spam, or Furious Warriors as a buff, I guess they could all do. It's not a bad idea. Especially with all our spears and stuff. Okay, they'll do Furious Warriors once. And then they're going to do fireballs until they pass out. Anyone I see with a jar. Boop, 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 boop. Good. All the guys that are just leading pygmies are just gonna hold. Hold. All the pygmies are just going to hold and fire archers, hold and fire archers. Who's closest? The big boy is going to cast Phoenix Power, followed by... Well, he doesn't have it yet. But you're going to cast Flaming Arrows twice. And then whatever. You're also going to hold. Hold and fire closest. Schema, just cast spells. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I think that's everything. Something like that. Something like that. You don't have to be there anymore. Yep. Then we have all the pygmies. So many pygmies. Really just a stupid amount of pig. Yeah, something like that, I suppose. This is certainly a unique strategy. I think we can all agree on that. Yeah, it's a pretty terrifying doom stack, I suppose. 889 total. Of course, most of that is really shitty chaff, but still. Okay, so we got Mother Oak going. We have 12 per turn. So now we can have someone cast God Brood every turn for the rest of the game to generate 6 extra sacreds, which will come in handy probably for this stupid war against stupid Pangea. Also, apparently I have this guy that I forgot to send along, so perfect. They're going to be joining the fight to the north. The inevitable fight, I'm sure. And I guess we're ready. No, we didn't get Alteration 6. Need that for Soul Vortex. So just move on up. You're going to keep researching. You're not doing anything anymore. You searched everywhere you could search. Okay, we're all set. It's probably all set. Let's see how it goes. That is a lot of fucking arrows, man. Holy shit. There will be friendly fire. So they killed 4, we lost 10. Including 2 pygmies somehow. So yeah, there will be friendly fire. Not much I can do about that. 20 units got diseased. Including one of my mages. Great. Keep going. Send off Pangea. Let's put a stop to this senseless violence. Eventually we'll get more construction. For now, I think we just want more mages. More research, more mages. All good, all good. Got sacred hunter spiders now. Nasty ass things. Okay. And then soon. Soon. He did attack, so it seems like he refused again. He attacked Amul and actually took it. This is what I was worried about. Those fucking minotaurs. And the first forests. Well, that was a much bigger battle. He lost much biggerly. I lost 6 hoplites and 1 black hunter. He lost 176 units. And not just like dispossessed spirits or something, although he did lose 35 wolves. He lost a lot of Leogryphs, Maenads, Killer Mantis, Centauride Warriors, Centaur Warriors, Cataphracts, Commander, 5 White Centaurs. And then our big battle down in the underground. Just insane amount of arrows, man. Holy shit. There's a lot of arrows. We lost 43 fucking hoplites. Okay, but that was not all. Well, no, but they could have been on fire, that's right. Because Pygmies technically only got 14 kills with direct shots. The enemy only got a total of 28 kills. I lost 64 units. So, you know, there's that. Yeah, this is always the issue. I guess I probably could be putting out fire resistance on everybody instead of the other Furious Warriors. We can just toss out Lesser Flame Ward. That's about it. to do more than that requires fucking gems. I need an elemental apprentice on all these guys, and then they could cast this afterwards, and then that would be everything. Honestly, that might be worth doing, though. I'm really going to just lose so many hoplites. Alright, back up. We're going to wait, draw this out again. But now he's on a mule, which is annoying. And I can't attack him without breaking my own NAP. So now I have to do more PD everywhere just to prevent him from doing some shenanigans. Damn it, Pangea. Fuck. He's probably not having these problems, because why couldn't I have gotten Valmoran? I thought that was going to be the worst option, but he still hasn't taken this. He has done absolutely nothing this entire game. Look at this. He's just losing ground constantly to Pyrene. Terrible. He refused again to attack the first forest. And we actually... Well... Oh, really? Oh, okay. No, we lost one Black Hunter, and he lost 119 units. Damn, our Black Hunters are good. Probably should go back to the capital to pick up more units again. But now Amul, he's gonna hit harder. He's just keeps refusing. He doesn't want anything to do with this. I may actually have to kill him. I'm just losing by trying to make friends over and over. But look, we're gonna get enchantment 7 now. I'll have pure fire arrows everywhere. We're gonna have fire resistance on every single unit. Well, not really, but a lot of units. He attacked the first forest again. Yeah, we really are. Yeah. Okay. The problem is here, I don't know why I did it this way, but the he has to have 2 fire to make this. Also, you probably shouldn't be wearing this. I don't know, give it to one of the assholes. Right, so anyone that's here that has 2 fire, at the very least, needs to make elemental apprentices. There we go. Good. Rest of you all just... Fuck. Research. Yeah, I don't care what you do, man. Doesn't matter. Do I want to make this force bigger, or just use this as another army to fight back against Pangea? Probably the latter. Let's make another Voice of the Lord. And I guess end our turn. Video's running long, and I don't think that I'm gonna win in this video. He attacked low mark. Now he's besieging me, which means that, well, it means something. I have about 10 turns to maybe sign an NAP, but he's gonna keep filing troops in. Right, no, so they're magical creatures. I gotta take a mage with me. How many can you lead? 20. It's good enough. Okay. Alright. You're going back on research. Nearly have alteration 6. So I think I'm going to start moving this guy out too. So he can do quite a lot of work. And then I guess all these guys with jars. You're staying behind now. You're dead. Give yours to someone that matters. You. Alright, all the guys with jars are gonna get this as well. Probably could be better spent elsewhere, but there's just a lot of these guys. Alright, back down. Now, the ones that have the Elemental Apprentice can all do Flame Ward. They could do it twice, but I'm not overly concerned about that. They could also summon a nest of salamanders just for extra kicks. Why not? It says I'm not able to do it though, so they probably will never do that. I'm never quite sure how that works, but anyways, Fireball. Okay, so this is the new script for anyone that got the Apprentice. Okay. The other ones are going to stick with the same script, and that'll be fine. Okay. And they're all kind of positioned where we need them to be positioned. Yeah, we definitely took some lumps there. It's not quite as big as it was. Alright. Good-ish. Good-ish. Okay, fine. No, that's not gonna do it, man. Alright, we're not going to 220 units. He's breaking that down a bit faster now. You got Alteration 6. So now you can cast Soul Vortex. Alright, why don't you take this as your first move? We're gonna go deal with this fortress. We are all going back downstairs. Alright, I made more of these. Keep making mages. Sure-ish. That was a lot of crippled units dying. We got attacked in the first forest again, and he suffered another humiliating defeat. And then our giant's first little battle. Not a very big one at all, but it shouldn't be any problem for him. Alright, so he casts Weapon of Sharpness as well. So yeah, he's an innate spellcaster, so he'll just be really spamming spells all the time. Oh, so he doesn't even need to be on advance and cast. He could just be on an attack. But right, he's got 262 hit points right now, because we're in our Dominion, which helps. He would normally have 120 plus 30%, so 160, assuming equal domain. 29 protection, 30 versus mundane attacks. So I'm not really sure. Yeah, I don't think he really even needs invulnerability, to be honest. Because he's at 23 natural without the invulnerability. And then he is also wearing armor, so we should have made him armor. I forgot about that. That's fine. Yeah, again, this is with no gear whatsoever. He only has 5 defense, but that would be usually plummeted to 0 anyways. 22 MR, 50 morale. He's very slow, but he's got blunt and pierce resistance. Didn't get slashing resistance for some reason. Didn't you cast... No, you didn't cast Temper Flesh. Okay, that might be an oversight. He is susceptible to shock due to casting Iron Skin. And he has no other resistances, which could be a problem. Got Reinvigoration 4. He's an innate spellcaster. He casts Weapon of Sharpness on himself for some reason. He does have a little bit of tiny regen, Affliction Resistance. And, yeah, he created that. Okay, and so then he's just going to cast a lot of fun spell. He casts Strength of Gaia as well, so now he's at, he got even more nature magic. And I think that also threw on Bark Skin. I don't think that stacks, though. Now he's spamming Terror. Terror. Petrify. Oh, Jesus. Jesus, the Ray's dead. That's a lot. Yeah, he's going to be a tough cookie to take down. Okay. I'm going to go defend Lomar. And I'm going to go besiege Capes. Well, we are going to go take on a throne. Fingers crossed on that one, but it's a good stopping point for the video, I think. Alright. So he attacked us in the first forest again. We lost a hoplite. But that's fine. Then our throne battle. With the Demiurge, Yaldabaoth. Alright, Flame Ward. Oh yeah, we should have total, we should have fire on every archer. Iron Bane, right? I mean, we do have fire resist, but it's only 5, so it's not going to really save from the massive amount of fire arrows that are dropping on us. Oh, man, the Yaldabaoth. Okay, that was a painful one. We lost a commander, we lost 6 black hunters, 40 hoplites, 46 pygmies. Okay, not insanely painful. There were some false horrors in there. Fear 5, ethereal, all that good shit, but not too bad. Yeah, okay. I feel like we killed mostly ourselves, but I don't know, the Demiurge probably summoned a bunch of shit. Masters of the Hidden Order doing some nasty stuff. Yeah, okay. We did it. Oh my god, Pyrene is now attacking that spot where... Oh man, he's fucked. We got attacked in Amul. So we handled that, no problem. And then we attacked their fortress. We lost that mage. 6 black hunters, 56 of the hoplites. But man, he had a lot of forces there. So we did our job at least. Painful as it was. Okay, well, we took it. So now we can claim it. Once I find... Yes, you. Thank you. Yeah, I suppose you could go help. I really wish I had gotten two more, or more, just two death guys. But that's what the black sorcerers are mostly for. Yeah, we still don't have Alteration 7 for Phoenix Pyre, which is good. But there's also Marble Warriors, which would be good. We did get Enchantment 7, so yeah, let me do that before I forget. You got a disease? Come on. That's not good. That's not good at all. Oh, you're fucked. Damn it. That sucks. Alright, so Phoenix Party, you're at 4, and then we have the Elemental Apprentice, so you can just drop Ale of Burning Embers. Damn it. That really sucks. Fine getting pygmies, but I think we just need a lot more troops as well. Did we stop casting Call Godbrood for some reason? Did I not set that to be monthly? Okay. Fucking... For now, just have 2 of you guys. All the Godbrood. Probably should do a lot more than that. Earthblood Deep Well. Requires 6 earth, 80 earth gems, but then you get 17 earth gems every month. It's pretty great. He doesn't have 6 earth, but with earth boots he would. But what am I gonna do with all those earth gems? Summon, Summon nothing. Summon, I don't, nothing. We can also get in riches from beneath, which is pretty great. In living statues. So pretty nice. Dust King and his entombed servants only in Wasteland or caves. Yeah. I don't know. There's just so much powerful shit that I'm not really cognizant of. There's a lot to remember, man. I don't know. And probably something, but Godbrood I understand. I know how to utilize, so we'll just stick with that for the moment. Oh, claim the throne of... Oh, that was me. Right. Yeah, I remember. Molderstone, 10,000 things, the Imperial Quarry. There's battle in Capes. We'll see how the big boy does. Flyers are annoying, but they're not going to do anything. Yeah, it's just going to be very hard for them to stop this guy. Damn hard. Especially once I throw some gear on him. Got attacked in the first forest. Beat another big army of his, but he'll never stop. You understand. He's not good enough to go down and actually take thrones. So this is kind of a bad map against the AI. Because it's basically just, like, it just remove these undergrounds from existence, and this is the map, you know? And it's like, you know, if you just want to do a big brawl against the AI and fight them and win, it's good. I don't usually like to do that because the AI is annoying. But we can keep sending this guy in. And just keep raising all his temples to the ground and harassing the shit out of him. That is a viable option. Yeah. I mean, I think we're in a pretty good position. We got one throne. We only need 2 more. And that center one's not really going to be that tough, especially with flaming arrows. So, yeah, it's just going to be a slog to go here, down to here, 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 here. Do I want to... See, I don't think Nah. We'll just leave it for the next video, I think. This is already running quite long. It's a longer match. Mostly due to just how difficult the independents are on this map. Like, it's very specific. And it's kind of fun. I mean, it's kind of fun having these stronger independent armies. Kind of have to come up with some slightly specific strategies for them and things like that. While contending with, you know, it's just it's like a 1v1, really, that you have to fend off. And yeah, if I could beat Pangea, wipe him from the game, I mean, it's pretty much over at that point. Like, then it's just... But that's the challenge, right? Is that you are kind of getting constantly fought and harassed and things like that while trying to progress towards victory. But Valmorin is currently being besieged. Go in there to just watch that epic conclusion. So, I don't know what he struggled with, really, in making his shit. Because I played as them, I thought they were pretty powerful, but I don't know. But yeah, once Valmorin goes, Pyrene will have no choice but to keep beating against the independents until he wins. But he might just spend all his time taking the coastal shit. Who knows? Rather than going downstairs or maybe rushing the Lost Capital. So I still have a lot of time with that. So it's mostly just Pangea being really stupid. Anyways, good stuff. I mean, MA Machaka is not that bad. The spiders seem pretty capable, and it's a good mix of magic and stuff, so not bad. My name is Mangg. You're watching has been Dominion 6. I'll see you fine folks in the next part.